Hey, so today we're going to talk a little bit about health and wellness. What does health mean? What does wellness mean? I'm going to share a little bit about some of the things that I take advantage of to help me to become healthier, but then also help me to maintain wellness. We're going to talk a little bit about showing ourselves grace through that process of becoming healthier, maintaining our wellness. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about how to move beyond a slip up because we all have slip ups. So we're just going to kind of go through all of those different things. So I'm going to start off with defining health and wellness. What does health mean? What does wellness mean? And this is straight from the dictionary. Dictionary.com is where I got these. So health, a person's mental or physical condition. So our mental and our physical health. Wellness. Wellness is a state of being in good health, especially as an actively pursued goal. So an active goal to pursuing wellness, to pursuing being in good health. So what are some things that I do to pursue health? What are some things that I do to maintain overall wellness? So I'm going to walk through and share a few of those things with you guys, talk a little bit about that I'm not perfect, showing myself grace through the imperfections, showing myself grace when I have a slip up or when I run into, troublesome times, all of those kind of things, because those are important and we all have that. So one of the first things that I take advantage of to help me become healthier and maintain wellness is WW. I work for WW as a wellness coach and a wellness guide, but I am a member first and foremost, and I will always be a member first and foremost. WW has not only helped me lose weight, but it has also helped me to become healthier overall, mentally, physically, learning how to shift my mindset, learning how to make myself a priority so that I can work to become healthier and maintain wellness. So WW is a big piece of that. With WW, I've learned tracking is so very important. For me, as a lifetime member, I still have to track. I still track to keep myself accountable, to have that awareness of what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, and being aware of my choices, you guys, because everything is a choice. And when I realized that I had a choice and I was making a choice, no matter if it was a great choice or a choice that I could tweak and make better, realizing that it was a choice gave me power. It helped me realize that, okay, I don't have to feel guilty over it because I made a choice to have X, Y, Z, whatever it may be. And I can make a better choice next time. So it took away a lot of that guilt for me. So WW helped there. It also continues to help me with tracking again, shifting my mindset, all of those. Being active is a really big part of maintaining my overall health and wellness. And sometimes, guys, as I shared at the beginning, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm more active than others, but it's showing myself grace through that process and realizing that I'm not going to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect, and that's okay. But if I can do it the majority of the time, more time than I'm not being active, then I'm going to have success. So with being active for me, that looks like running, strength training, yoga. I have a Fitbit that I have and that I use that helps me make sure that I'm getting my steps in. It also helps with my activity levels. I use Fitbit Coach as well, which is a training program that allows me to have access to workout videos, all those different things. So that's another thing that I have and take advantage of because it helps and it makes a difference for me. And you guys, we're all different. Just because this is the avenue that I take, these are the things that I take advantage of, you have to figure out what works for you, what's going to help you be successful, because every single one of us is different. So being active is a really big piece of that for me. And it's important to help me make sure that I'm moving and going forward. With yoga, I do a lot of yoga with Adriene videos here on YouTube. I love how thorough she is. She helps make sure that she's explaining things, so that's a really great avenue for me as well. Mindset. So mindset is another really big piece of this. I mentioned shifting your mindset with WW. That's kind of helped me transform and think more about my mindset and being more aware of that throughout and over the years. as I've been on this health and wellness journey. But shifting my mindset is a really big part of that. And that comes with being aware of where I am mentally, but also how I think, how I talk to myself, to others, and then also how those that I choose to surround myself with, those that I choose to spend time with, how are they talking to me? How are they thinking? How are they talking to themselves? Because if I'm surrounding myself with people that aren't in the same mind frame, they don't have to think the same as me, they don't have to be the same as me, but they're being more positive. They're being more encouraging to themselves, but also to others. They're not critical of themselves. Those are going to be the kind of people that I want to surround myself with. So being aware of that. And you guys, as I said, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. So don't, like, it's not about just saying, oh my gosh, well, she had a bad day, or, we all have bad days. There's going to be days that we are critical of ourselves. We may be critical of others, but as long as it can be the majority of the time, that's what I want to be for myself, but also with those that I surround myself with. I also use Young Living essential oils and supplements to help support my body, to help support my body to maintain wellness, and then just overall. And then also to help us transition and shift to non-toxic and being chemical free as well. So that's going to be another avenue, again, that I choose to go down to help support my health, my wellness. And if you're interested in more information about that, there is a link in my description here, or not the description of the video, but the description of the channel, sorry, where you can go to learn more if that's something you're interested in learning more about. And then, as I've kind of mentioned throughout the video, is realizing that I'm not perfect. No one is perfect, and realizing that that is okay. It has to be okay because it is what it is, right? So just showing yourself grace. As long as I'm doing these things the majority of the time, more times than not, then I'm going to have progress. I'm going to see success. So again, just really being honest with yourself, showing yourself grace through the process, and keep going. Don't give up, because you guys, failure isn't a slip up. It's not when we make a mistake. Failure is when we stop. Because we made a mistake, now we feel like, oh, well, what's the point? And we give up. That is what failure is. Failure isn't the slip up. Failure isn't the mistake. But if we give up or we stop whatever it is that we were doing because of that slip up or that mistake, that's when that failure takes place. So as long as I keep going, as long as I pick myself up, I'm making progress. I'm not a failure. Whatever it was that happened wasn't a failure. So realizing that so that we can kind of continue and keep moving forward. So how do I make sure that a slip up doesn't stop me? How do I make sure that that slip up or that mistake doesn't define me? It doesn't become failure. So the number one thing that I do is learn from it. If I can learn from it, I can continue on. I can use that the next time that I find myself having a slip up or a mistake. I can also apply it, like I said, the next time. Or when I find myself going down that path, say, okay, wait a minute. I've done this before. This has happened before. Learning from it. So being able to apply that going forward. We're all going to have slip-ups. Go ahead and realize that. I think that was a really big eye-opening moment for me too, is realizing that when I'm starting a journey, whether it's to lose weight or to be more active or to eat healthier or to drink more water or to eat more fruits and vegetables, it's not going to be perfect. Go ahead and realize that that journey is not going to be perfect, and that's okay. That's why it's a journey. That's why it takes us multiple times. That's why to become a habit, we have to work at it. So realizing that. Because it's how we deal with those slip-ups that is going to determine our success. I'm going to say that again, because it's going to be how we deal with our slip-ups, with our mistakes, that determines our success, because we have to keep going. We have to push past those slip-ups, those mistakes, or those down times to be able to have long-term success for whatever it is that we're working on to become a habit. Few ways that you can kind of work through that slip-up process or that mistake process as they come about. So again, I said learn from it. For some people, that may look like journaling. You are writing down what's going on in the process, and then using that to help get yourself out of that. Talk with someone. talk with a friend or a loved one, someone that you feel like you can really trust through that process. Talk to them. And then decide, how am I going to go forward? How am I going to change this course of action from being a slip up to now saying, okay, I'm beyond that, I'm out of that space, and I'm going to move forward to have success. Again, making progress. And then stop and really talk to yourself. Think to yourself about, if my best friend was going through this same situation, if they were dealing with the same things, how would I give them advice? What would I say to them? How would I help them through that process? Now, we can't take someone else and get them out of that, but a lot of the times the words of wisdom, the things that we share, the things that from our own experiences can help that person. So doing that exact same thing to yourself, taking a step back, because sometimes we get so caught up in the moment of what's going on, taking a step back, removing yourself from that for just a minute and saying, okay, if my best friend was going through this same situation, what advice would I give them? How would I help them? So be your own best friend in that moment, taking that step back, being your own best friend in that situation. So that's going to pretty much wrap up today. I know I talked about health and wellness before, but I just wanted to take this approach on it, share a little bit about what helps me, but then also, again, about how to move beyond those slip-ups and mistakes, because we all have them. So show yourself grace. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.